2 hours. We're going to have some special guests. We'll have Nick Earnshaw, our radio station coordinator, join us live on Radio Row from California with some, like I said, some pretty special guests. But we're going to have a rotating panel for this entire evening, right? And first, let's introduce the panel that is right in front of me. Myself, Vincent Foch, behind the mic, along with
Jared George.
Adele Armendina here.
And Ian.
And man, oh man, this is going to be, one heck of a night we're about to have discussing a game between two teams that none of us thought was going to be here. We did not expect New England. We did not expect Seattle. And for Super Bowl 60, for the 60th year of this great, championship game before the Super Bowl was a thing, right? We had the NFL championship. But for the 60th year, this is one heck of a matchup. I'll start with you first, Jared. What is your overall look at this matchup? Obviously, again, like I said, no one was really predicting it, but we see two quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, a guy who is trying to reprove himself once again. He started with the New York Jets, kind of bounced around like crazy, had a short stint as well with the Minnesota Vikings where he started to get his girth back. And then this season, look where he is right now. And then as well in Drake May, a young quarterback that is starting to prove that he has a big portion of that leadership role covered. Your thoughts?
It was a battle of two coaches that really took on a daunting task. Mike McDonald, coming from Baltimore, entering the whole now new Pete Carroll era, and Mike Vrabel, respectfully taking over after Bill Belichick. I know they had a year with D'Amico Ryans, not D'Amico Ryans, excuse my French. Who was that? The coach that I'm totally blanking on for the Patriots? Linebacker for a year.
Oh,
we went through that, and then we tossed them.
Yeah, I know.
And now we're dealing with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
But, two coaches that definitely have taken on a daunting challenge. They're here epitomizing what everyone thought, like you said. We were looking at the beginning of the season, maybe New England had 4 or 5 wins.
Right.
Seattle, maybe they were 3rd in the division, 4th in the division. They were going to, flirt around and be back next year. The Sam Darnold story. But,
right.
I look at both coaches for this. This is my turn point for taking point from both of these teams right now. McDonald and what Vrabel have done, they're both playing with house money. Super Bowl no one expected, and this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, like you said, this is something, you look at the head coaches in general, right? This is the first Super Bowl in history where you have 2 second-year head coaches going at each other. And we discussed this well earlier. If you look at Mike Vrabel, if he is able to win, he'd be the first NFL head coach to not only win as a player, but also win as a coach for the same franchise. And that is something within itself pretty interesting. Adele, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts? A matchup no one was expecting. No big-time name team is here. What are your thoughts?
It's crazy, but ultimately, the people got what they want. For years, they've been talking about that Patriots-Seahawks game, how it lives in infamy after the Marshawn Lynch 1-yard touchdown pass the ball got intercepted by Malcolm Butler at the 1-yard line. Here, a couple years later, we have that same rematch of those two historic teams. I'm very excited to see these two teams. Sam Darnold is playing lights out. We saw him in the NFC Championship. All the people are talking about, is he still seeing ghosts? All that is in the past now. We saw a brand new Sam Darnold, a brand new player, and then he's got star weapons. JSN is playing lights out football.
Right.
He's been one of the best receiver, if not the best receiver in the NFL. That defense is playing historically great. What is very interesting to see is Nick Imawari and his health, because he's played such a big factor for that team that you don't know what's going to be happening, as he plays that nickel position to a T, and that's not an easy position to replace. However, the Patriots are also playing off a fantastic historic game in Denver that it could have gone either way. We could have been seeing Denver in that championship game. The Patriots played lights out in that snow. Drake May showed that he's good enough to make a Super Bowl.
Right.
And it's very exciting to see moving forward. But at the same time, this game, we're going to see these two teams. And like Tony Romo in that one interview said, one team's going to be looking to run the ball, the other one is looking to pass. I'm very intrigued to see what they're going to do moving forward and how that game's going to play out.
Right. I mean, you see, especially looking at Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots, a very, very gutsy team. And we've kind of seen this throughout the whole entire season, what they would go through to get the victory. And not only just to get the victory, but what they do each and every series to get down the field, the plays that are called. This is a guy who's also very, very aggressive. And I don't know if I want to go completely here when I say this, but he almost has that Doug Peterson type of mentality on that aggressiveness. And again, this is something where, again, a lot of people have the Seattle Seahawks winning this one. And I'm one of them as well. I know, Jared, we were talking about this a little bit earlier before we got on air, but the Seahawks, lot see winning. Now, I want to get into your prediction a little bit because what you were saying before we went on air I thought was absolute gold, and I really want you to share it. What do you see happening in this game? I know you see it kind of going as, what would you say before, like kind of a dogfight-ish?
I think this game is potentially going to be a shootout. And then here's why my explanation behind it. I think both teams are going to be playing fantastically offensively. I think more or less people are expecting it because they're two great defenses, don't get me wrong. They played lights-out defense throughout the season. But here's the thing. I just think right now, especially with this high of stakes, both offenses are going to show up. No one wants to be the reason why their team doesn't win the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I can easily see this not only being a historical game, but also a game that's going to be a very high scoring. My prediction for this game is going to be 32-28.
Okay.
And for anyone hearing there about the line and everything, it's going to be interesting to see because that line is 4.5. I think that the Seahawks are going to do their job, take care of business, and play great football. But at the same time, I don't think they're going to go out and then just easily just steamroll the Patriots. I think they're going to have a little bit of trouble with the Patriots because the Patriots aren't just looking to hand them the trophy. They're going to play lights out as well. That's why I have this game high scoring.
Hey, I mean, it has the opportunity to be a dogfight. I know me and Jared, we were discussing as well earlier. There's a possibility, and I can see as well where Jared is coming from, that this can be something where if one little thing goes haywire, and this going especially for the Patriots' sake, if one little thing goes off, this Seattle team, and they've shown it throughout this year, will run away with the game. But we're also talking about a New England team that has been well-developed this season and a team that knows how to handle those certain areas. Now, don't get me wrong. And again, I'm naming a lot of things that Jared said earlier, but when you were discussing that this is a Seattle team that absolutely should be here in terms of what a lot of analysts see and in terms of the players that are on the field. But this New England team having, I think, what was it, the fifth easiest schedule in the NFL this season, coming up to it, not including the playoffs, right? I want to make that clear. I don't want to make any New England fans angry at that statement, right? But they had an easier schedule than the majority of NFL teams, but still have been able to push the way. And as well, if they say they don't win the Super Bowl here, it wouldn't be as big of a punch in the gut as if Seattle lost in the Super Bowl, being on the two different talent levels and what they have been building up to in the previous years. But I want to go to Ian coming up next. Ian Brown here, the final man that we have on the panel for this first segment. So, Ian, I mean, again, to go back to the basics to start off, we have two teams, like I said multiple times, weren't expecting to be here. Don't think they were on anyone's bingo card. Your reaction?
Yeah, I think it's like everyone said here, that this is a match that nobody expected, but I think that because of what the Patriots have gone through in the last couple of seasons with the decline of the team after the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era, with the string of quarterbacks that they've gone through, like Cam Newton, Mac Jones, of the like, I think it's a pretty good season. Not that I think the Patriots are going to dominate the game, but for sure, I think defense-wise, they're going to have to come out strong over the Seahawks.
Right. So, I mean, you think that, especially punching their ticket. We saw their game against Denver again. No shots at Jared, right? But a very, very low-scoring dogfight, which is another thing that Adele has been saying. So it's kind of like everything that we have mentioned so far is kind of all cluttering together on what is possibly going to make this game. It's kind of like you're putting clay together. You're trying to get a specific shape, and that's going to mold into what this Super Bowl is expecting. It's definitely something interesting to look at in the long run. But not to mention and not to forget, we have a WDBK text line, 856-345-9325. Once again, 856-345-9325, where you can text into the show your opinion with the conversation at hand. And we're going to start off with a pretty simple question, or Some people may say it is not a simple question. It may not be. But who is your favorite on winning this upcoming Super Bowl 60? Do we have Seattle or do we have the New England Patriots? That is what I will leave with the WDBK text line. Again, 856-345-9325. Leave your answers. But yeah, I mean, when you want to dive into it a little bit deeper at the end of the day, you see, I mean, even some of the injuries. I mean, we can look as well looking at, I should say, New England. I mean, there's been a lot going around. A big-time linebacker, we're going to talk about defenses, Robert Spillane, who had an ankle injury. And, I mean, during the AFC Championship, it was hurting after that and was not participating in practice the entire week. Now, there was some talk that he was looking to participate this Thursday. I was trying to find anything saying if he did. Again, I'm sure as we go into the break, that's what I'll be looking for. But he's been, saying, hey, I'm ready to put it all out there for this team. And, I mean, this is, obviously, we can say defense wins championships. But if, say, he is not available for this Sunday, he wants to be, he wants to put it all out there. This is the biggest show of your life for if you're an NFL player. But I'll go to Adele on this. What do you think? How big of a change would it be if he is not there for this upcoming big game?
I mean, it's going to be a big loss for the Patriots because Spillane, for the most part, isn't a household name. However, you see the tape, you see exactly what he does on a football field, and then you can see from that standpoint all the things he does, all the stuff he does for this team, and then he plays multiple spots, whether it be rushing the passer or just in coverage. I think this would be a big loss for the Patriots, especially because I think he plays a big part on that defense. However, it's interesting to see how the Seahawks are going to game plan around that. If they're game planning around Spillane being there, or if they're just all together expecting him not to play, where they expect different routes for certain receivers in that empty spot that he's not in.
For what it's worth, he thinks he's going to play.
Right.
He's 100% going to play.
Seeing some of his quotes, he stated before this, I should say, it was at Radio Row, but it was on Wednesday. He said, quote, "I'm still 100% confident." He said, "I'm going to continue to trust the people that take care of me and do everything I possibly can day or night and put it in God's hands at this point. Continue to prepare as a starter and go out there today, practice, and put it on the line." So that was what he stated earlier this week. This is something, a guy where, I mean, again, this is the biggest show. This is it. This is, I mean, you're a football player. This is it. There's no question about it. So we'll see. It's going to be definitely a big question. And, I mean, the more I hear about it, I don't think it is a question. I think he'll be out there whether his leg or arm is hanging off. That is for sure. But we did have a text come into the system that I want to bring up. Of course, right, we go to our text boards, our great listeners, if I can find it. Well, I'll have to look when I get back from break because for some reason
Jack Youngblood is rolling right now. The fact that we're talking about Robert Spillane not potentially playing, even though he played with a broken leg.
Right.
It's the Super Bowl. If he's not out there, Jack Gibbons is the only person happy that he's not playing.
Yeah,
the linebacker.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. To go to the text line just before we go to the break, we had a texter come in saying, quotes, "My one professor is from Boston and is a major Pats fan. Even she believes the Seahawks have it. Hello, 91.5 crew, texting from Washington, D.C. I have a feeling I know.
Bonjour.
I have a feeling I know who it is, right? But hey, it's definitely great. We appreciate it every so much, 100%. Again, WDBK text line 856-345-9325. Who do you have winning this upcoming Super Bowl 60? Seattle or New England? I'll leave it at that. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back in a matter of moments here live on 91.5 for the second annual WDBK Championship Stream. Stick around.
Did you know that approximately 7 out of 10 college students face mental health challenges? Help Camden County College's Center for Counseling and Wellness to understand the state of our students' well-being, identify areas for growth within our existing systems, and inform future mental health and wellness programs. Our Healthy Minds study will be launching on October 6th,
That's why I took my
and every
headphones
Camden
off.
County College student will receive a link to the student survey via email. Each student who participates in the survey will be entered into a raffle and will be eligible to win a gift card up to $250, a Camden County College gift basket, or a mental health gift basket. If you have any questions, please reach out to the Counseling Center, counseling@camdencc.edu.
I paid some for it.
Did you know about the TRIO Student Support Services Program? The federally funded TRIO program is designed to enable low-income college students, first-generation college students, and students with a documented disability to stay in college until they earn their degree or transfer to a four-year institution. The Student Support Services Program at Camden County College will assist students with basic college requirements, provide opportunities for academic development, and motivate students towards the successful completion of their associate's degree or transfer to a four-year college. Student Support Services will provide academic and career advisement, tutoring assistance, completion of financial aid forms, and much more. Contact TRIO at 856-968-1335. You can also email them at studentsupport@camdencc.edu. The location to find out more information about this program is on Camden County College's Camden campus, located on the second floor of College Hall. The TRIO Student Support Services Program, where the students are destined for success. Camden County College has a dental hygiene program. Our dental hygiene clinic is located on the Blackwood campus, where they offer preventative care. Services available include digital x-rays, deep cleanings, fluoride treatments, nutritional counseling, tobacco cessation, plaque control, digital scanning, and comprehensive periodontal evaluation. Patient care at the clinic is managed by experienced dental hygienists and monitored by supervising dentists. The clinic is located in Halpern Hall on the Blackwood campus and is open Monday through Thursday. Please call 856-374-4930 for more information on how to schedule an appointment.
Did you know that Camden County College has a dental hygiene clinic? Located at Halpern Hall Suite 107 on the Blackwood campus, the clinic is here to put a sparkle in your smile, with hours being 9 a.m. to noon, 1 to 4 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays, and 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. on Thursdays with no morning hours. Remember, these services are offered by appointments only. You can contact the clinic by phone at 856-374-4930. Once again, 856-374-4930 for a smile of a lifetime.
Sam Darnold in 2026 from chasing ghosts to playing the Super Bowl exactly 442 miles away from where he played high school ball. But Sam's story is unique in his own Trojan way, going number 2 overall to the Jets and immediately getting thrown to the ringer, dealing with Lactara roster, Adam Gase, Todd Bowles, inevitably being chased out of New York like every other quarterback does. And then landing in Carolina for 2 years with Matt Rule and Baker Mayfield, running to San Francisco where he would get familiar with his now play caller Clint Kubiak as a single caller, and going to Minnesota in 2024 while they needed quarterback help, drafting J.J. McCarthy, losing Kirk Cousins, but unbehold would have the keys to the entire franchise, leading them to 14-2, having an abrupt ending, losing to the Rams in a blowout loss that haters constantly held their hat on. Again, 14 would be tested down in Seattle, but would have a familiar face in Clint Kubiak there, finishing at 15-2, having a full circle moment, beating the Rams into the NFC Championship and getting to the big dance. Will the clock strike midnight, or will Sam Darnold prove the doubters wrong once and for all?
Let's get back to WDBK's championship stream with the WDBK sports team.
And welcome back to 91.5 WDBK for the second annual championship stream here. We're going to have one heck of a night. We just had our first segment. That was already a ton of fun, but now we are back in action once again with, like I said, a rotating panel. First, we have
Jared.
We also have
Ryan.
And in the middle, we have Corey as well. Yeah. So Corey's all over the place. He's a big part of this and making this whole thing happen as well. Right. So, but as stated, what are we going to be talking about in our second segment? Well, we're going to be talking about the buildup for both of these squads. These are two teams that were, let's just say, nowhere near this last year. You had a 3-14 Pats team. You had a 10-7 Seattle Seahawks team last season, 2024. We're now in the 2025 season, and what a turnaround for both franchises, right? Obviously, one, it was more of a turnaround than the other. I'll go to you and start off first, Jarrett. I mean, your overall reaction, this is something you don't see every day. You don't see two franchises have a huge turnaround, but especially the Patriots. I mean, what are your reactions to this?
Just in general, from the season of last year to now, I mean, this is a team playing with house money. They play without a care in the world, in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. They're out there playing with their hairs on fire. You look at a couple of the key additions that they added in the offseason. You know, Mike Vrabel brought over some of his guys. You know, Harold Landry from Tennessee, Jack Gibbons from Tennessee, Carlton Davis from Tennessee, guys who are tone setters, foundation that he wanted to bring back, that he had a good, inkling with in Tennessee, and now he's over in New England, having them make an impact for them. I mean, we talked about Jack Gibbons earlier. Maybe he's going to play without Robert Spillane. But all in all, I mean, Mike Vrabel, you get a little bit of pixie ducks with Drake May. He turns out to be an all-star, potential MVP candidate. It's been a lot of fun watching New England unfold as the season's going on, because I do like them from just a pure roster pound-for-pound standpoint. Offensively, they're a little, hence the reason why Drake May is even in the MVP conversation. Stephon Diggs, Matt Collins, Hunter Henry, Kayshon Boutte, who? Right, like minus Stephon Diggs tearing it up.
Say his name again.
Who? Kayshon Boutte? Boutte.
Yeah. Why you say it like that?
It's Boutte. How am I supposed to say it? Boutte?
Boutte.
Can we also mention the fact that if Rabes actually closes down this championship and wins it, he'd be the first person to win it both as a player and as a coach, no less. So that in like modern history, so that's something to pull up as well,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that makes it so crazy. And again, when you look at New England, right, especially in their way of going here, right, they had a easy regular season schedule, but in the playoffs, this was something to not mess around. And I know you're doing the,
I just don't like to do that. Every team, there's 32 of them, man. They all get paid. They all.
But here's the thing: in the playoffs, they went up against a Denver Broncos team that was rated at second in the league, and they also went up against a Chargers team that was rated fifth in the league for the defense. I know we also have a Chargers fan right here, but these were not huge, heavy wins. They were feisty wins. Chargers, it was the 16-3 victory for New England.
He's biting his tongue.
It's a 16. Oh, it was 16-6. Oh, my bad.
Our
My
offensive
bad.
line
I'm
is
making a man.
depleted. Justin Herbert was running for his life, but then again, I didn't see no wide receiver create any separation in space. That is, I don't know what people were doing back there. Even the man I'm wearing, the jerseys that I'm wearing, the man killer, didn't see anything about it. But Justin Herbert was back there running for his life.
Yep.
Every play.
Yeah.
And then the divisional round against Houston, literally, it started, I think, raining, and that's when C.J. Stroud really lost his level of reading the offensive line, and the defense of New England really took advantage of that. And then the Broncos game also, the Denver game was also in bad weather conditions, and the Patriots and New England just somehow pulled that off. Like you can't
pulled it off because we missed 3 field goals. Let's be clear.
You're right, Bruce. You're right.
But when your quarterback's name is Jared, are you supposed to win though?
Oh, man.
If my first name was Austin, we wouldn't even say it like that. Yeah, Jared believed in Jared. No, hold on. We're playing the game.
Connection. There's a connection.
Because if we're going to play the game, the beginning of the first quarter, I know Ryan was sweating. I was screaming, Super Bowl, we're coming. 2 bombs. Lil Jordan Humphrey. Pat Bryant. I thought we were cooking. Yes. Did I have faith in Jared Stidham? Yes. Was it ignorant faith?
Let's not forget that for both the Seattle team and New England, they have the best record, also tied with, of course, Denver for the best overall record in the regular season here.
Yep.
And the New England team was able to pull off a win against the Bills while they were still undefeated, to have that 1 week where all the undefeated teams finally got their first loss of the season.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. When you look at Buffalo, especially that whole entire game, this was something where, Buffalo this year.
They got knocked out round 2. We talk about Buffalo for.
Well, you look at Buffalo.
They should have won.
I know they should have.
This is a team in Buffalo that has shot themselves in the foot how many times this year? We've seen it how many times? This is a team that has done this in their past many different years. I mean, many different years. I can say the past 5 years. But this is just another one of those scenarios. The Patriots also managed to force it on to the Houston Texans. You want to talk about a team shooting themselves in the foot? Well, there you go. What was it, 8 turnovers for the Houston Texans against the New England Patriots?
And a few interceptions, too, by CJ.
We got to keep. Let's not talk about CJ Stroud. He's just down bad.
Well, no,
right
no,
now.
I'm trying to just go over some of the ways with New England was able to force some of these great squads, and especially for Houston, this is their second loss in a row in the AFC divisional round in terms of back-to-back years. So you're putting pressure, and it's a young team, again, as we were talking with Jared before. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to say they're all young. Their offensive line has some veterans on it. But this is a New England squad that was kind of just put together. I mean, this is a rebuilding year, but yet have been able to make these extremely talented rosters kind of fold under pressure, and has been an ongoing theme kind of for this entire season. The only question is, can they do it again to a Seattle team that has been built for a rough and tumble game?
No.
This Seattle roster, I think, just top to bottom, I think Seattle's arguably the most complete team in the league. You know, I understand everyone's freaking out about Nick Emenwarier and what he did and what he does in the slot, but just Kobe Bryant as a whole, he held down the fort last year. You know, it's kind of funny. We're talking about Kobe Bryant in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But Kobe Bryant gets to play alongside with Love. Really, the big part for me with this Seattle defense has been Woolen, Witherspoon. You got Derek Hall coming off, Boy Mafe, Dexter Lawrence, and Uchenna Nwosu. None of those are household name pass rushers, but they get after the quarterback like no one's business, and they stop the run with
Right.
Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed. I mean, Seattle's defense for me is really where, Drake May, ultimately, I understand where he's come from in the MVP considerations, but they have 2 weeks to prepare. Mike McDaniel's drooling at the bit to have drooling at the bit to have this New England offense in front of him, and
Right.
I get it. It could be a close.
Even Stephen Smith on ESPN, he's like, it's one and done. Like, this is where it ends. Like, it's a one and done for the championship for the New England team, or you're just not getting it. Period.
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, that's a hard statement to stand with. I mean, they're going to be competitive for the next couple of years. You have Drake May. I mean, Steve Smith hanging his hat on that. I mean, sure, maybe right now. I don't know how you can. Maybe without Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo, without them firing on all cylinders. But I think New England's for real, and I think they're here to stay. I just think this may not be the year for them to win it.
Right.
But I do ultimately think that they are a good football team. And Will Campbell, Drake May, Travion Henderson, Christian Gonzalez. I mean, they have pieces they're going to bring back and load up for next year.
To note that one of those players, Gonzalez, when I'm looking at the Seattle offensive line, all right?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm looking at the Seattle offensive line, Sam Darnold's in the pocket a lot. Like, he can move his legs, but he's
a pocket
more in the
passer.
pocket, I've seen, than more able to just go on the run plays whenever he really needs to.
Absolutely.
Like, there's been a few times where I've seen him do that, but not really a lot. So, and the routes that he's using, I think Gonzalez, I think Marcus Jones, they're going to be able to really find those routes after a few. Let's say the first 3 possessions, we don't get a lot of scoring.
Right.
But then, because the coordinator's got to adapt to what the other coordinator is doing.
Sticking JSN?
Yeah, that was my question. I was waiting for him to talk. Who's taking JSN? That's all I want to know.
Like, I think Marcus Jones and Chris Gonzalez, they can. I think they can take the Seattle offensive line with when it comes to the wide
Who's
receivers.
taking JSN? He creates so much separation.
Yeah.
No matter what he does, and it feels like he's always open. And then, like, when they do show him on camera, he doesn't catch the ball. He's looking for a flag, and then he gets it. It's like, who's taking that man?
Yeah.
And just to think about how the referees are managing these games, like, you've had Vrabel in one regular season game use both of his challenges, and they actually made the calls to keep his challenge as a confirmation, not have him be charged for a timeout for both of those challenges. So I think the management and how they're refereeing this game is a bit on the cloudy side, because this is going to be like testing the referees, like, in general, like, how are people going to look for referees in the next season. You know.
The typical New England fan blaming the refs before they game.
No.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I'm serious. It's not just me. It's not just me. Like, Eagles, they're all about their team. Like, Vince, you know for sure about that. Like, you guys are always trying to get that flag whenever you can, so that way you can take advantage of it. So
well, it's also about how the player tends to sell it. I mean, it shows if it looks like one, if it doesn't look like a flag. I mean, there are many opportunities. I mean, we've seen
I do hear what he's saying. Good coaches do call plays strictly for a penalty. Than on the field
absolutely,
if an offense,
absolutely.
but-
If you have a crossing route or something where you have a defensive back that is caught in a bad position, and we've seen this multiple times as well, where if you have a guy that is hugely, or I say hugely, who is completely smaller than his, say, defensive back, and the DB or cornerback, whatever you want to call him, is all over this guy, right? It will look like a penalty, and this is something where it kind of does force the official to throw the flag, where, you look at the end of the day, well, the look of the call, blah, 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 blah.
Mahomes
That's
has
a
got
flag.
3 Super Bowls with that.
Who?
But Mahomes has got 3
Yep.
Super Bowls
Yep.
via that.
I know we have someone disagreeing here in the center.
Juju
I could see this.
I do remember. Hold on. I do remember there was one time that officials had originally thrown a penalty flag because they thought that, I think this was Denver game, the Denver game that was most recently played. They threw the flag out when Sim got sacked, and then he got sacked, and it was a fumble.
Yep.
The New England defense had it. They took it to the end zone, but they tried throwing a penalty flag up, and they reversed their own call. They reversed their own call, but B, they didn't give the pictures of the touchdown.
It's when you get to penalties in the pocket, especially in terms of roughing the passer, or if it was a fumble. I mean, now that's another thing. When I say that the NFL trying to protect the quarterback, I can understand, but here's another thing where I see a lot of the calls made because, he made contact with the head. Now, there's a lot of different circumstances when it comes to this. There is literal contact with the head where you are aiming for the quarterback's head, where you are putting your full force towards them. And then there's, of course, there's other calls as well where all you do is you're going in for the tackle and your hand taps the head. It doesn't matter. By rule, that is a penalty. I can't stand it, but it's a penalty. It is. It just is. I don't like it. Then you also have, is it a fumble or not? Is it a forward pass? That's another call that I've been seeing get kind of juked around a lot this season. So there's just so much that goes into it that is just, I mean, you go to that Sam Darnold call like you were just speaking of. That's another one of those things where it's kind of, is there enough there? Like when the original call is made, is there enough there to overturn it? That's what comes into play so many different times. And will we see it again in the Super Bowl? Who knows?
And to think, Rob Gronkowski was recently on the Fallon show, and he's 0-3 predicting the Super Bowls, and Gronk.
What did he pick this year?
Gronk's going with the Pats. The original score from I think championship 49, 28-24.
Okay. I mean,
and he's been 0-3 with predicting the championship winner. And Fallon has proof of that. Like, there's evidence to prove Gronk's
I don't know my
predictions
record.
were wrong.
That just made me think of my record for thinking predictions. I forgot it.
Here's the best part. Here's the best part. No, I actually,
of course you did.
I've actually seen a lot of people try to get arguably the greatest of all time football player to say who he's gonna think is win, and he's saying, I'm not putting my chips on the table. I'm not betting.
Well, when you look at that, there's another thing going around of people saying, is Drake May the new Tom Brady? I've been hearing about that the whole entire week. This is something where
if I hear one more person
media
say
buildup.
that this defense and 13 Seattle's defense is comparable,
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to think, this is only
Been hearing it all week.
and then
It's been something.
The only thing that should be actually a comparison. The only thing that actually should be a comparison for Drake May is what TB12 his second year, what he's done in that second year when he was first drafted.
Well, that's why people are doing it, because of what is happening.
But here's the thing: the only real comparison that I can actually look at and say, okay, we've seen something, but it has to be, of course, consistent. Some people forget, like, you have to be consistent or even get better.
Well, yeah.
And the one thing I'm looking at right now is the second year comparison for both these teams. Like the second year for what year is Sam Darnold in?
Year 8.
Yeah, he's in year 8. Yeah.
He's in year 8, but the thing is, he was with the really sucky team, the Jets, which by all means in the 21st century has not gone through a single playoff game. So,
well, the Jets, that's a whole. I don't want to talk completely about, focus really full on the Jets, but the Jets are a team that kind of puts all its chips into a specific player, whether they're older, whether they're younger. They end up putting too much money towards that player, and next thing you know, with all that hope there, it all kind of fades away, and you have no money left behind you that you can actually back yourself up on. I mean, he started with the Jets, he went to the Panthers, went to the 49ers, went to the Vikings. The Vikings is kind of where he found that rebirth, and this is where I'm going to Sam Darnold on this. I don't want to confuse anyone. I didn't say Sam Darnold, so people are probably like, what's he talking about? But no, with Sam Darnold, I mean, from the Jets to the Panthers to the 49ers and to the Vikings, and now obviously where he's with Seattle. But with the Vikings was kind of that rebirth, and I mentioned this on our last Sports Council, where this is kind of where, overall with Minnesota, right? He was said to be the backup, but he was the big reason on why they were able to get the huge amount of wins they got that season. What was it, like 14, something like that?
14-2.
Yeah, 14. So this is something where he found that rebirth. The only problem is in Minnesota, the O-line kind of wasn't the greatest thing in the world. That I will say. It wasn't exactly the greatest thing in the world.
And I'd also like to mention the New England offensive line is not all pros. You don't have all pros on that line.
It's also, you got some vets on that line as well.
But you have the vets on the line. But
4
the thing
vets
is,
and Will Campbell.
Yeah.
But the thing is, May doesn't have an all-pro offensive line. So if he does win this, like, you gotta take that into fact.
It's a big if.
Like,
it is.
It's a big if.
It depends on how he can work under pressure. I mean, we saw the amount of passing yards he had in his last game, right? But this has been proven before where, I mean, hey, if you get the job done, you get the job done. And this is where we were talking about defenses, things like that. This is something where, it was a heck of a lot.
This is that funny joke where it's like that basketball player who said that he was like the third string on Cleveland when they won like 10 years with LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to tell my grandson that I was on the starting team. I'm going to tell my great-great-grandson that I started and dropped 30 a night. Like, if you're on the team and you win the Super Bowl, the case is the case. But Sam Darnold, 1,000% is of a percentage of why Seattle's here. Without him, I mean, that the gamble that they went from Geno to him, assuming that Clint Kubiak saw a little bit of enough in San Francisco to say, hey, come over to Seattle. That's my guy. I can deal with that. 3 for 100. It's not like they were like, all right, Sam, let's see what happens. They kind of more or less not expected Super Bowl, but they expected the Sam to compete.
Exactly.
They expected to be here. This was a ballsy gamble.
He's looking like it. He is looking like it. And that's been another thing, his consistency. A lot of people's worries were, okay, we're going to get Sam Darnold in here. Is he going to be able to be consistent, especially when it matters most? And, well, that's what I was thinking as well. When I saw Seattle doing what they were doing, I thought that they had a chance to do similar to what the Indianapolis Colts did. Now, Grant, I understand they got haunted by injuries. Daniel Jones went down, very unfortunate. Phillip Rivers, I wanted to see.
Who was also in Minnesota.
Well, exactly. That's another thing. People don't kind of realize that, right?
Go to Minnesota, you get to play in a Super Bowl.
Phillip Rivers, I really wish he would have done it for my childhood's sake. Didn't work out. Oh, well. But, Corey, any final thoughts before we head to break here live on 91.5 on this whole thing with Sam Darnold as well with Drake May? Do you see these two being able to really stay consistent for their squads?
Good weather, right? Yeah, they should be.
We'll see.
Kind of out of snow, you know.
It is in a dome.
But yeah, it should be.
It is in a
dome.
No, it's not. No. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
It's in San Francisco.
Outside in San Francisco where it's not no snow on the ground. Like if you look outside or something. But Sam Darnold, him and JSN, I don't know how they have that connection, but he's always open. Shaheed might get a deep bomb. Like they actually work well out of the play action because Kenneth Walker can run the ball.
Right.
And with Drake May, it's just I don't know how he passes to these no-name guys. Cardi B's boyfriend, baby dad. You know?
No. Don't start mentioning her boyfriend. Don't start mentioning her boyfriend. I swear to God, the team barely posts much about her. Even her boyfriend doesn't post much about her yet. Why? Because you know what happened with Taylor?
He was just
Taylor
bringing
and
it up,
Travis?
Ryan.
Yeah,
We're not bringing it up
No.
as a curse.
We're not going that way.
Yeah,
we're
we'll
not
be
going
going
that
to
way.
break. Yeah,
New England doesn't go that way. I'm telling you, New England doesn't go that way.
Break it.
Yeah. We're gonna head to a break here on 91.5 WDBK. We're gonna save Corey, but back to break that we go. But we have to hit the text lines right before we go to the break. We had another text pop in saying Seattle, or I should say Seahawks for the win. Our Bird Cousins was a text that came in. So we'll see exactly what is able to develop right there. Again, still available on the WDBK text line. Who do you have favored to win this upcoming Super Bowl 60? 856-345-9325. Make sure to catch us around the bend. We have more coming up with our continuous rotating panel. Stick around. Did you know that Camden County College has a food pantry? Camden County College has food pantries open to assist students in need of food and various supplies. For donations or assistance about the pantries, please contact Associate Dean Tenuto at jtenuto@camdencc.edu for food distribution. The marketplace is stocked with monetary and food donations by our college community. You can donate through the marketplace's Amazon wish list, through the foundation, or by stopping by as well. Please consider donating.
Hello, my name is Steven,
And my name is Colleen.
and we are dental hygiene students at Camden County College on the Blackwood campus. Did you know that we actually have a dental hygiene clinic on campus?
We sure do. Our clinic hours are Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., as well as Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Thursdays, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and 12:30 to 3:30 p.m.
At our clinic, we offer preventative services such as cleanings, sealants, and different programs such as nutritional counseling, plaque control, and tobacco cessation.
We are located on the Blackwood campus in the Halpern Science Building on the first floor. Our phone number is 856-374-4930.
Please call or stop by to make your smile brighter.
The Accessibility Center provides support services to students with disabilities attending Camden County College. At the Accessibility Center, we strive to create an environment that recognizes differences and builds independence. If you are a student with a disability attending Camden County College, you can connect with the Accessibility Center by calling 856-227-7200, extension 4430, or by emailing accessibilityservice@camdencc.edu. Or stop by and visit us on the first floor of Taft Hall.
.5 WDBK-FM has its text line back. You can text in to our student shows at 856-345-WDBK or being 856-345-9325. Join our conversation, and if you have a request, let us know. That's once again 856-345-9325.
I'm Savannah Mitchell here live with 91.5 WDBK-FM. Super Bowl halftime shows have dated all the way back to the 1960s, where the performances began as collegiate marching band numbers and transformed into high-performance pop culture shows. What boosted the halftime show ratings and also started a pavement for the modern halftime performance world was Michael Jackson's 1993 performance. This performance took the halftime show from a so-called filler segment to a globally viewed part of the game. Another notable performance was Prince's 2007 performance, which to this day is considered one of the best and most memorable. At this performance, Prince sang his iconic song, Purple Rain, while it was raining outside. Following Michael Jackson and Prince, the show has been taken on by huge artists such as Lady Gaga, Kendrick Lamar, Katy Perry, Rihanna, Beyonce, and so many other huge names in music history. These shows are hit songs focused, featuring the artist's biggest hits throughout the years for a visually pleasing music set. What started as a small part of the big game is something that turned into a major cultural event. This show brings in over 100 million views each year, growing a little more each time. The views for the halftime show are frequently equal, if not more, than the views of the game itself. This year, the Super Bowl halftime show will be headlined by singer and rapper Bad Bunny, who just recently received the Grammy for Album of the Year.
Hey, it's Dakota with WDBK. This year's Super Bowl pregame performance will be headlined by none other than Green Day. Green Day is a punk rock band formed in Rodeo, California in 1987 by lead singer Billy Joe Armstrong alongside bassist and background vocalist Mike Dirnt, with drummer Trey Cool joining the band in 1990. This year's Super Bowl is being held at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, only an hour down the road from the band's home turf. According to NFL.com, in a post announcing the performance, Billy Joe Armstrong says, "We are super hyped to open Super Bowl 60 right in our backyard." This year's Super Bowl pregame performance is the first of its kind, with hopefully more to come in the following years. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famers are due to take the stage at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. Green Day embodies what punk means perfectly. It's not just a genre or a style of clothing. It's an ideology. One of their most notable hits is American Idiot, a protest song against the Bush administration. Another popular track is Holiday, with more specific criticisms, highlighting and denouncing American involvement in the Iraq War during the early 2000s. This political activism continues in the modern day. On multiple occasions since 2019, the band has performed an alternative lyric in the song American Idiot. Instead of "I'm not part of a redneck agenda," Armstrong sings, "I'm not part of a MAGA agenda." The band did the same in 2025 to mock Trump's former ally, billionaire Elon Musk, by changing the lyric to "I'm not part of the Elon agenda." The American political climate is in such a delicate state that performers are now finding themselves on a tightrope between speaking their political truths or staying silent to avoid retaliation. However, no one has ever been able to silence Green Day, and we highly doubt they'll start being silent now. Politicized or not,
Let's get back to WDBK's championship stream with the WDBK sports team.
And welcome back to 91.5 WDBK for our second annual WDBK championship stream. Again, our WDBK text line, 856-345-9325. Once again, 856-345-9325, where you can text into the show and give your opinion with the conversation at hand. Also, you can answer our main question. Who do you have winning this upcoming Super Bowl 60? Is it Seattle, or do you have New England re-winning? Or I should say re-winning. What is that? Winning the rematch of 2014.
Rematch.
Yes, it is the rematch.
Like the new century.
Oh, hey, that's the thing. It's two new quarterbacks. Well, I should say two new quarterbacks, at least for the franchises. But first, let's introduce our panel that we have. Again, like I said, we had a rotating panel, and now what do you have first?
Imani.
Dakota.
Ian once again.
And yes, look, we got Ian back. We got Ian Brown back, right?
Yes.
As with this rotating panel. But, Imani, coming into this, what have you seen leading up to the big game this week? I know social media has been going absolutely nuts. It's been going crazy.
I see. Listen, there are so many things that are happening with the Super Bowl, but like the big thing that I am seeing aside from the game itself,
right,
is a lot of people excited for Bad Bunny, and I don't know, I'm right there with them on that.
Right.
Like
So, how do you predict the halftime show is going to go? Because I know a lot of people, it
was just recently announced that Bad Bunny will be performing solely in Spanish.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That was announced earlier today.
Okay. So, what is your excitement level from, I should say, 1 to 10?
I'm very excited. My little boy, he's half Puerto Rican, so I got to keep it, I
take that as an 8?
Yeah.
No.
Wait,
Listen,
80%?
understand this new album. It was amazing. Just the whole theme of it in general and the culture and what it was bringing. It's not just about, the music itself. It's about the culture of Puerto Rico, Puerto Ricans, and Latinos in general. Coming to this part of America and building themselves up. And the album is literally called, I should have taken more photos.
Right.
So, the cultural significance of that. A lot of people are excited. I'm right there with them.
I mean, Dakota, your reaction. I mean, I know you did the cover of Green Day literally right before we came on air. Your package played on Green Day, but I guess I can go to that for you. I mean, obviously the Super Bowl, or I should say the NFL announced coming into this big game that Green Day will be doing what was the pregame show.
Which has never been done before.
Yeah, this is a whole new slot.
It's entirely new, first of its time type of thing. And it's a band that comes from not that far from San Francisco where the game's being played.
Right.
They come from Rodeo, California. They've been around for ages, and they're just well known in that area, and it makes the most sense for them to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And especially knowing that Bad Bunny is playing the halftime show, like, it's perfect that they have another opportunity for more musical artists to come out and play at the
Right.
Super Bowl.
Right.
But yeah, it's really exciting because they're a very unique band, and they're very political. And so it'll be very interesting to see what they do, especially with the way the NFL handles certain like political outcries and stuff. So I'm very interested to see what they do and what comes of that. Definitely, for sure.
Right. I mean, it's going to be kind of a lot of, I guess, expressing emotion, multiple different things like that. I mean, it's after all, I mean, what is it? I mean, I know there was a stat that came out, but was it not too long ago that showed, I mean, the viewership in terms of the amount of people that tune in just for the game and the amount of people that tune in for the performances at halftime. And now this year we have two separate performances. Now, has it been said yet? I'm not quite sure on this. Has it been said if they will both be coming, will Green Day be coming back out for the halftime show with Bad Bunny, or is it just going to be?
I'm pretty sure, and Amani can correct me on this. I'm sure she knows more about it. I'm pretty sure Bad Bunny is just coming on by himself. I don't think he has.
As of
with
right
him.
now, we know that he's performing by himself. However, Cardi B is said to be at the Super Bowl because of the Patriots playing.
Right.
But
Don't say that. Someone may burst through the door over here.
I'll
say that. Say that.
Hey, listen.
Corey learned. Jarrett learned. I learned.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything. What I will say though is that we have a nice little catalog collaboration with Bad Bunny and Cardi B. Like, going back to before the Bad Bunny we know now, or at least you guys all know now, because I've been around for some time.
Okay. Just.
I'm just messing with you guys.
You're trying to set us up for saying something, aren't you?
No. It's like, the Bad Bunny that everybody knows and really loves now, like, everybody enjoys. Oh, he's so handsome. Before that, they have music together. Their catalog stems back to like mid 2010s.
Okay.
That's the point that I was trying to make.
He's also just last few days ago, he just won Album of the Year, the Grammys, which was very so important about that is he was the first person to ever win it with a Spanish-only album.
Right.
Yes.
So he's coming off of the Grammys, and now he's going to the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't imagine how that must feel.
Right.
There was a joke that he made during the Grammys where he said that he is contractually obligated to not perform because he has to perform at the Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, it's a big. Well, for the Super Bowl, because again, it's like what they don't really get paid, but it's something where it's more for boosting. Right. It's more for boosting each other. Where you're boosting the artist, you're also boosting the league. I mean, like I mentioned before, you get. I mean, sometimes I think it's close to as many views for just the halftime show alone as the whole entire game. Or I think now there was a recent stat. I don't know. It was mentioned. I think in one of the packages that I heard. I was editing all the packages, so I heard them so much. But I was hearing in one of the packages that I think it was that there may have been a stat that came out that actually showed the halftime show brought in more views than the entire game, where it wasn't as much of 50-50.
If it is not the most and like the most watched thing, which normally it is, it's
right.
The most watched part of the Super Bowl itself. More people tune in for the halftime show than for the actual game.
Right,
and more people tune in every year. I mean, if you look at like statistics for like the most watched television programs, like most of it is the Super Bowl, but obviously if you ignore sports then it's different. But if you look at it, it's just like Super Bowl 2024, 2023, 2022. It just gets higher and higher every year.
Yeah.
Which I honestly think has a lot to do with people outside of the United States becoming fans of the NFL.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Which
actually is.
yeah, a big phenomenon, which I was not familiar with, and it's really interesting because you'll find people just choose teams based off the colors. So they don't have the same. They didn't grow up with, oh, I like this team because my dad liked this team, or I like this team because my grandfather or my mom or whatever. It's just they see a jersey they like and they decide that's their team from now on. And I gotta appreciate the simplicity of that. Like that's a lot easier.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's grown in big, huge ways overseas. We've been seeing the past
in
5
Japan,
at least years.
They have a whole restaurant dedicated to Philly.
Yeah, they have I think it's super cool.
Their fans are actually up, like they're in their jerseys, watching the games right along with us.
Like that, the owner of the restaurant came to Philly and studied how to make the perfect Philly cheesesteak.
That's
respect.
That's the best. I know, Ian. You had.
Yeah, there's also a restaurant in the UK called Passyunk Avenue that's just based off of Philly too.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I saw it before. It was, I think, during, I forget which Eagles game, but they had, I think it was maybe one of the ending regular season games of this season where they actually showed there were a bunch of fans in the UK, and it looked like Xfinity Live in South Philadelphia. It was bopping like crazy. And of course, with it being in the UK, you had some people walking by on the street being like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly.
My friend
holding games in Europe and stuff. Like they had a game in London, or they have one coming up in Paris. Like the Browns are playing in Paris for some reason.
Right.
Like
my friend, she recently went to Japan, and she said that there was one specific guy, for some reason, for at least a day while she was walking around, she kept running into him, and he was wearing an Eagles jersey.
Yeah.
So every time they would run into him, they would just go, "Oh, go Eagles!" But it probably looked kind of weird.
Well, it was strange.
birds in the middle of Japan.
Well, you look at even last year, in Brazil, to start off the 2024 NFL season, the Eagles and the Packers went in Brazil, not knowing, well, maybe they did know, that area can't stand teams that have green in them.
Oh.
And the Green Bay Packers and the Eagles, some of the two greenest teams in the league. I mean, obviously the Jets, but
off the top of my head, is there any other green?
well, there's the Jets.
Yes.
I mean,
Jets.
I'm honestly surprised the NFL didn't put the Jets there because their own fans probably would want them to be absolutely disintegrated. But who knows at this point in time? Their own fans can't even.
I was about to ask,
entire
does the
Jets
Jets still have
offensive line
fans?
There's a lot of. I mean, there are fans. There was
there's
actually.
hardcore fans.
Speaking of that, so there was a Jets fan that just this week on Radio Row, Sam Darnold was sitting at the podium, and there was a Jets fan that walked up to him and said, "Do I have your blessing to now be a fan of the Seahawks?" Because Sam Darnold was a Jet. He was drafted by the Jets 2017. He played with them for a couple seasons, and he's like, "I just can't take my franchise anymore. I can't take it. I can't do it anymore. Do I have your blessing?" He's like, he looked, he's like, "You got to be kidding me." But then he's like, "All right, I'll go along with it. You have my blessing to be a fan of mine and the Seahawks." Oh, thank you so much, sir. This fan literally was he saved his life.
Bro wanted permission to bandwagon.
Basically, I mean, if I was a Jets fan as well, I don't know what I would do too much at the end of the day, but who knows? But we're going to go to another quick break here on 91.5 WDBK. As stated, we have a rotating panel. There'll be a whole new group of people coming up next. We'll go to a break here and be back around the bend with some more talk here live on 91.5. We'll be right back.
You're listening to 91.5 WDBK-FM, Blackwood, Camden County College Radio.
Did you know we have a fully equipped fitness center right here on the Blackwood campus? It's true. Located inside Papiano Gymnasium and attached to the basketball court, the Wellspring Fitness Center is dedicated to serving all the health and fitness needs of Camden County College in a welcoming and supportive environment. Our staff of skilled professionals will help newcomers and gym rats alike to reach their goals and to develop a positive, healthy future. Open Monday through Friday, it is free of charge to all students, college personnel, and alumni with a current ID card. Free services include complimentary fitness assessments, exercise technique instruction, and workout programming advice. Stop paying for an out-of-the-way gym membership, pop in, and check it out today.
What is the Educational Opportunity Fund, or EOF for short? The Educational Opportunity Fund community fosters academic achievement, personal growth, and leadership skills that last. Oh, what's going on, guys? How are you? I hope you can hear me okay. We are live at Radio Row in San Francisco. We actually just got done interviewing Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. So that was pretty cool and exciting, but it has been hustle and bustle all over San Francisco and here in the convention center. And I have a very special guest with me. You might remember him from last year, okay? Scott Grayson of Fox 29. He is joining me. Scott, thanks for joining us for a couple minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to.
All right. So I know you guys have a few questions. I'll let Vince start it in a second, but just kind of giving
you guys the lay of the land. We are on like kind of a corner right here. Michael Irvin just walked by. He was across from us just a second ago. So it's really a who's who type of event. You never know who you're going to run into. A lot of PR people, a lot of guys selling stuff. Frank Caliendo, if you're familiar with the comedian, he was here. Yeah, we had Romeo Dobbs on yesterday.
We had Jerry Rice and Emmett Smith stopping and talking to each other right next to us.
That was outstanding.
Yeah.
I missed that. I was actually going to get something to drink.
Well, see,
and I was working on something else too.
You were working hard today. I'll give you that. But you missed that.
I did miss that. That was actually unfortunate. But hey, listen, we got to talk to Reed and Coop, so that was a lot. That was a lot of fun and very exciting. So, thanks to 97.3 ESPN for having us down here. Vince, I'll let you take it away if you have any questions for Scott.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I've kind of been mentioning this the whole entire week, and I've talked to a couple different people about this, right? But seeing these two teams that we have here in this year's Super Bowl, something that no one really expected. I mean, you have a Seattle team that's really trying to prove themselves, a team that really built the roster up. Meanwhile, you have a New England Patriots squad that, I mean, you want to talk about teams that are not expected to be here. I don't want to say teams that are not supposed to be here, but teams that are not expected. I mean, what is your overall reaction to this, especially how both of these teams, both kind of playing as a juggernaut this season? What is your overall reaction to this?
You know, it's been a topic of conversation out here whenever we do talk about the game. I was joking. You could go outside and ask people to name 3 of the players in this game, and I think people probably get 2. I don't know about 3 because it just lacks star power. But I think when you look at these two teams, I think with New England especially, I feel like everything broke their way. And I feel like they're here maybe a year or 2 early. But, I mean, you take what you get when you get it. And you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, so to speak. But I think, you look at where they're at and you say, okay, well, I mean, they didn't have to face Patrick Mahomes. They didn't have to face Josh Allen. He got knocked out by the Broncos. And, oh, by the way, then the Broncos lost Bo Nix, so they didn't have to face Bo Nix. And here they are. That doesn't mean they can't win the game. We saw the Eagles go through everything they did back in 2017 to win when Carson Wentz got knocked out late in the year. So it's not to say that the Patriots can't win. Me personally, I heard you guys talking about it. I do like Seattle because of their defense. I still can't even buy in on Sam Darnold, but the guy's done everything right. So you can't argue with that either. So I think you have 2 teams that were, I guess, destined to be here, and we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Right. I mean, like you said, I mentioned, I mean, it's what these teams had to face, and that's what comes down to in the long run. And you even look at, especially, I mean, you see a New England team on how they got here, where their opponents seem to somewhat have shot themselves in the foot so many different times. I can go back to, you want to name one specific, the Houston Texans. What was that? Somewhere around 8 turnovers in that game. C.J. Stroud was a turnover machine, and something where this has been their second consecutive year, talking on the Houston Texans, where they have absolutely went kaput in the AFC divisional round. It's been pretty unfortunate to see, but I'll now hand off some of the questions to our panel. I'll start with Jared, actually, to my right. Trying to change it a little bit up instead of going left to right. I'll go right to left. Right, Jared, I'll go to you.
I asked you last year about Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, so I guess I'll run it back and I'll talk about maybe a little bit Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon. How important are they for the young Drake May this weekend?
Oh, they're going to be huge. I think they play a big role in this game. It's just interesting when you look at these matchups and these guys who are playing in the game. And there's 2 names that you mentioned that are going to be very important in this game as well. I just think it's going to be very interesting to see how Drake May manages the Seattle defense. And I got to believe, it's also going to be interesting to watch in this game. And I would say this to any football fan, watch closely to see which coach took advantage of the extra week better. What kind of wrinkles did they throw in to try to, it's all about during that 60 minutes getting an advantage in some way, shape, or form. And if one coach prepares and throws a wrinkle in and does something unexpected or runs a formation or, by now they all think they know each other. So it's what are you going to do that's a little bit of different thing. And I wonder how Drake May is going to handle this Seattle defense. You guys were talking about the turnovers that he has had, that were in that Texans game. I think Seattle's going to turn him over a couple of times in this game. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to have some wrinkles set up for him. And those 2 players you talked about, I think, are going to play an important role in this game.
Oh, good. I mean, again, as we mentioned quite before, right? You talked the turnovers, and that's something we could pretty much talk about the whole entire. I mean, we could talk about that the whole entire night, especially on kind of how both of these teams' seasons were, regular seasons. You want to talk on Seattle, New England, things like that. But now I'll hand it over now to Corey for your question. Yes, you. Yes.
Hi, hello. My bad. I was moving the mic. I was in my head. But I see that. I like the bet. So my question will be a betting question. What would be? I have two questions for you. What would be your biggest lock? And should I hammer JSN's over?
What is his over? That's a good question. What is the over? Do you know?
So Corey, do you know his over or
no? Oh, that is definitely a great question.
Yeah, that's.
1 second, let me get right to it.
Well, I would add, in this case, I would expect JSN to have a big game.
No, y'all are just delayed. It's just crazy.
I would expect them to have a big game.
His over is set at 93.5.
Ooh, that's pretty high. Here's the thing that you have to ask yourself as the game plays out, right? How do you think it's going to go? If there are turnovers, that means you're going to be working with some shorter fields. And I think also you got to keep in mind, I think Kenneth Walker could be a guy that, what's his over at? I'd be curious to know what that is.
Yeah, that would be interesting too.
I think Kenneth Walker, we talked to so many people here on Radio Row, I forget who, but they were saying that they could see Kenneth Walker going over 100 yards without Charbonnet being part of this. And all those yards are going to eat up opportunities for Jackson Smith and Jigba that you're talking about. But he's going to play a role in this game. He's a big receiver, and he's a big reason why they're here. So they're going to target him. I wonder what his perhaps you can get this for me, what his receptions total is as far as going over under on that.
Probably going to be targeted a lot in this ball game for sure.
Right. I mean, that's going to be obviously, Corey, for you. It could be a big question in terms of, I guess you could put it as what the targeting total. I mean, would it just be for him in general, or are we can go as well with the overall team?
No, I'd wonder what the targets are over under.
6.5.
Is it 6.5? See, I think I might go over 6.5 targets. Not targets, receptions for Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he'd do that more. I'd feel better about that than the yards.
I will add, the other night, we were at opening night, myself and Billy Schwein. We were out there at opening night and had a good time. He got big timed a couple of times, which was funny. But I had a question before the next question goes. I asked Julian Love who the biggest trash talker he ever faced was, and he said Tom Brady. Which is probably no shock, but I thought that was a fascinating answer because I was not expecting it. I was expecting another wide receiver, et cetera, et cetera. No, he said Tom Brady. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. So whoever's next question can go.
All right, so Adele, you're up next. Ask away.
I'm very excited to ask this question. I know this is a very big anticipated matchup between two historic teams, and my question is right now there's speculations about Nick Imawari and if he's going to be able to play or not. Let's just say hypothetically he isn't able to suit up for the Super Bowl. How are the Seahawks going to replace, because he plays such a vital piece to that defense, not just at the safety position, but also at that nickel spot. How are they going to replace that, and how are they going to scheme that defense moving forward to play against the Patriots?
You know, I'm not fully aware of how deep they go in for the Seahawks, but I would guess that what they would do is certainly try to counter that with getting pressure on May faster. So how do you do that? You're going to do that with scheming it up. And again, I think the extra week plays a big role for situations like that. They know whether or not they're going to be able to count on him at this point by Sunday. So they've already been kind of game planning for that. What are we going to do? What kind of wrinkles are we going to throw in, even when we don't blitz, but to do different stunts and different designs to get pressure on Drake May? Because the faster you get to him, the less time you have to cover those receivers. And I think that's going to be a big key if he can't go, making sure you can get to Drake May pretty quickly so that he can't start picking apart that defense down the field. Also got to watch Hunter Henry. I think that could be a big matchup to watch in terms of how the Patriots could try to exploit the middle of that Seahawks defense.
Well, there you go, Adele, and that brings up, I mean, kind of another thing. I mean, in a way, it's similar to what we were talking about last year, where I remember, speaking to you, and we were talking about the whole Patrick Mahomes factor on being able to get to him before he picks apart your secondary. And that seems to be another similar situation we have here. Drake May, a young leader coming up for this New England squad, being able to read defenses. We've seen his ability to do that, obviously, against Denver. He didn't have the highest number of passing yards ever, couldn't even get into the triple digits, didn't even get into the 90s for passing yards, but still, you want to talk about pressure. That was another perfect example of doing so. Now I'll hand it over to Amani for the final question of our panel here for this segment.
Hi. I think my question is kind of like a basic one, but do you think that the Seahawks are good against the Patriots defense, seeing how they showed up in the playoffs and just like against the top 5 defenses of the league?
I think the Patriots defense is a little underrated. I think I didn't expect them to get here because I just didn't think they had a good enough defense to get it done. And so, again, I laid out the different things that happened that got them here, but they had to earn it too. And, I even thought Jarrett Stidham might be able to, with the Broncos, be able to do enough with the Broncos defense keeping the Patriots offense in check, perhaps to get the Broncos still here. But I think you got to give credit to the Patriots defense. They are able to do some things. And we all know the knock on Sam Darnold is that he cannot win the big game. Now, he's gotten here because he's won big games. He had to do it this year. They wouldn't be here. So to a certain extent, you could argue that narrative is dead, but there's no game bigger than this one. So will he see ghosts? Will he start throwing the ball away? Will he make mistakes? And will the Patriots be able to inflict some of those wounds? I think he's got enough pieces around him that help keep him calm, and I think he's, I think he's really answered the bell well. But I think to answer your question, the Patriots defense deserves more credit than they've gotten. And when people talk about the different matchups in this game, it's not one that's talked about very much. And I think it could. Let's put it this way: if the Patriots win this game, I think it's going to be more because of what they do defensively than what they do offensively.
All right. There you go. We appreciate it very much. Any final thoughts from our radio station coordinator, Nick Earnshaw, before we head to break?
The Bo Nix should be here.
We do have a Bo Nix fan as one of our students. It's unfortunate. I feel bad for our Denver fan and Jarrett. But Scott, thanks so much for sitting down for a couple of minutes. Scott has the cup in front of him, by the way. The cup has made it out here.
There it is.
The cup has made it out here.
We need to do
on the West Coast.
round.
So, guys,
cup.
outstanding job as always, Scott. Thanks again for joining us for a couple minutes.
This guy busted his butt today to help get us Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. He was staying on it with their contact, and we ended up getting a nice private little interview with them up in the Bounty Suite.
Yes, that was unbelievable, to say the least. So, Scott, thanks again. I'll stick around. I know you guys got to head to break real quick. I'll stick around on the other side, and I'll kind of give you guys the lay of the land. I do have a camera with me, so I'll do a little pan for you guys, all right? I'll send it back to you, Vince.
All right, absolutely. Once again, our radio station coordinator and as well Fox 29, Scott Grayson, out on Radio Row in California. Always great to see. We're going to be going, once again, as stated, to a quick break here live on 91.5 WDBK. Around the bend, Nick Earnshaw will be back with more live from Radio Row. Stick around.
Hello, my name is Dorothy. And my name is Kim. We are dental hygiene students at Camden County College, Blackwood campus.
The award-winning Pine Barrens Chorus is looking for men of all ages who love to sing in the 4-part harmony a cappella style. The Pine Barrens Chorus is located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and is a membership organization of 4-part harmony singers from ages 18 to 90 plus, representing all walks of life in southern New Jersey. If you are interested in joining, email contact@pinebarrens.org and let them know you're interested.
Here at Camden County College,
you.